Hi everyone, this is Sonic Mania Plus Encore mode. Um, this is the DLC mode that was added last year to Mania. Um, I am. Oh no, I have the stream open so I can hear myself, so that I need to fix that.
But I guess I'll go ahead and introduce myself again. For those of you who are just joining for this run, my name is Amber Cyprin. I have been here for the whole Sonic block. We are joined by the wonderful the Bailey Renee. I'm gonna call her Bailey.
Yeah, that'll be easier. Hello, everyone.
And this run is gonna be this is a run to behold. Definitely a sight to be seen. So if you all thought you were done with me with SA2 and 3D Blast, nope. I don't run this game, but I can surely commentate it. I've never done this in my life. Let's go.
Yeah, Amber's gonna be with us for the next 12 hours. She'll just commentate everything. Okay, so I'm pretty much ready to go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Encore mode. So we're gonna start out here in Angel Island, which is just a very quick tutorial level that's basically just copied off of Angel Island from Sonic 3, but only a very small portion of the stage. Because the important part of this stage is just to get to this capsule where you get to choose between Mighty and Ray.
I want y'all to take a very long, good look at Mighty the Armadillo, because this is the only time you're seeing him. I promise. He's never used in the run. He's actually designed around casual play. We want our buddy Ray. Our boy Ray over here. For anyone who's familiar with the Super Mario World Cape Feather, you'll find yourself right at home with this, and Ray is fantastic. And you can only Encore mode is a little different from Mania mode, because levels have slightly modified object layouts and different palettes. And you kind of have, instead of a lives system, you have a party of characters with you. Characters act as your extra lives, and you can have 2 active characters at a time, and the rest are in your reserves. And as long as your active characters are both standing and near each other, you can swap freely between them.
And right away here, you see how quickly she can get through the level with Ray, just gliding over the top of most of everything.
Yeah, and Ray's gliding does not have a speed cap, so if Claris can actually maintain her momentum with Ray, she can reasonably just no worries. So hopefully, if things go well here, we're gonna have some more Ray gliding. And a little bit later into this act here in Green Hill 2, there's going to be a breakable wall with speed shoes inside it. Normally you require a fire shield with Sonic, who can utilize the elemental shields in ways that the other characters can't. Or you need Knuckles, who can break walls any which way he wants. But with a very precise jump here, the other characters can get right through there and pick up those speed shoes. Which makes the rest of this level much faster and fairly trivial.
Yeah, fortunately there's a decent setup for it, because that is a really precise jump you have to make.
You'll also have seen towards the end of the last act, she picked up a monitor with Tails. Tails and Ray are who she's going to be using for most of the run, but sticking with Sonic and Ray for now.
Yeah, we'll be switching over to the optimal team in the next act. Also, the boss's feet don't hurt you, which is why it looks like he should be stomping on Sonic and just straight up does not. So we're gonna enter a chemical plant, which sports this really, really nice color palette. I personally really like it. And about halfway through here, we're gonna get a swap monitor, which what that does is it switches the controlled active character with the first reserve character. So in this case, it's going to switch Sonic for Tails. And then Tails and Ray will be the ideal combination for the vast majority of the run, because they have ridiculous vertical and horizontal flight. And it also allows us to break this game a little more than it's supposed to be.
You might say we see them for a high ratio of the run.
Oh my god. A high ratio. Oh my god. I'm gonna fight you.
I have the
Very
words
simple.
for that. I just...
Damage boosting to get the hits in there.
Yeah, that was damage boosting the boss there. So, also, Ray becomes the Fonz, for anyone who's ever seen Happy Days. Maybe I'm showing my age a little there.
What year is this?
I mean, I've seen it, and I want to say I'm not that old.
That's fair. So this is where Mania Encore mode gets a little broken. So we're going to introduce partner clipping. So normally when your partner is far away from you or off screen, they recall by going into the front of the screen. Now when you do that in the top right corner of a ceiling, like you just saw Claris do, the partner that is recalled clips into the wall. You can then swap characters as long as they're both standing and near enough each other, which is typically both on screen. And you can swap to the character that's in the ceiling, and unlike the Genesis Sonics where you can zip through levels, there's no zipping. You just jump to gain vertical height, and it allows you to skip chunks of stages, including doing our first boss skip here. So Claris actually entered that pipe backwards, which allowed her to skip the boss where you normally play Puyo Puyo, and go straight to the capsule.
It's a big waste of time anyway.
I mean, Puyo's a fantastic puzzle game. It's just,
It's fun. Oh,
it's not
not
fast.
today.
It is not fast at all. Then, here in Studiopolis 1, this is where Encore mode starts getting very, very broken, trademark. We're gonna introduce our first instance of death canceling, which is an Encore exclusive trick. So what happens here is we're actually going to cancel a death by having it immediately interrupted by something else. In this case, we're going to be hitting a bumper. Now you're going to notice something a little strange. Objects don't mean anything to Ray in this state. Ray is a zombie. So levels are very, very large in Mania. Normally, wrapping around a level would take quite a while, but because Ray's flight, like I said, does not have a speed cap, he can actually wrap around the level very quickly, and this skips one of the longest bosses in the game, which is just a luck-based auto-scroller, and we don't like those things. We're hoping that we hit the capsule. This looks...
I messed up, so I had to vertically wrap again.
Okay. Yeah, things are happening... Oh, there we go. Okay. I have no audio, so I have no clue whenever you manage to...
Looks like she got it.
Okay, yep, there we go. Ray got through Act 1. That's totally an act. Nice honeycomb texture. But there isn't too much to say about Studiopolis 2. There is another partner clip part of the way through here that saves about 15 to 20 seconds when done well. So definitely very useful. But for the most part, this is just really enjoying a lot of what Ray does. For those of you who don't know who Ray the Flying Squirrel is, or Mighty the Armadillo, Ray the Flying Squirrel has not been seen since Sega Sonic Arcade, which was a Japan-exclusive arcade game, where he appeared alongside Mighty the Armadillo. Mighty did make a later appearance in Knuckles Chaotix, as essentially the Sonic-like character in that game, but neither of them have been seen since. And I'd like to think that the reason why Ray was not acknowledged since Sega Sonic the Arcade was because Sega was trying to protect us from his true power, because, I mean, look at what he's done so far. Also, we're using Tails as propeller blades of Tails to fight bosses that are a little out of reach for all the other characters,
Yeah,
and
that
also
was a
hit the
really good
capsules.
stage.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Also, for those of you who are listening very closely, and you miss it usually, but during that results screen, there's an Easter egg of this awful, like, buzzing noise that was happening during the reveal party for this game. And that happened on the live stream, and that was on the official Sonic channel, and they decided to throw that in as an Easter egg.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, but this is really Ray Mania for a lot of this run. So what Claris is about to do here is you're actually able to fly under the flying battery. And she got the first part of the skip so far. So far, so good. So flying under that, there is wind actively trying to push you and prevent that skip. But Ray, because of his gliding having no speed cap, he's able to get enough speed to just not care. So that actually just skips a very large portion of this act. And he does, he's able to do it again. Like, Ray is ridiculous. He's such a good boy. And Claris is absolutely fantastic with him, so he's able to just glide everywhere he wants. So Claris is just not gonna care about the flying battery 2 boss at all.
Yeah. There's definitely a really hard glide before that, though.
Yes. It is also possible with Super Tails, in the Tails Mania run, but like...
It doesn't even need Super Tails. Like, you can just do it with regular Tails, I think.
You can?
Yeah.
I thought that there was there not wind in that?
I think you can fly above it.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. But,
Like, you made me think of Act 1. Like, the skip I did with Act 1 can be done. Tails.
Oh, yep. I'm getting my wires crossed here. Getting my yellow flying animals crossed.
I'll do, like, I just do Encore and... Ooh, no! So that will force a restart, because if you die, your character is taken away and it would be replaced with Sonic. And that is not optimal for this run at all, especially flying battery.
Unless Sonic learns how to glide really quickly.
Yeah, if Sonic grows some excess skin, like, between his legs and arms, like, I think we'll be good, but I don't think that's gonna happen exactly.
Yeah, I'm pretty doubtful myself on that one.
Yeah.
That is probably one of the hardest tricks in the run, so no shame in missing.
Yeah, like, there's absolutely no shame in missing, especially in a marathon. It is very difficult. No!
Oh!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, my heart!
Boss!
Between me almost crushing myself in Volcano Valley and this, and like all the Bio Lizard shenanigans, this Sonic block is out to kill me. Oh my god. Oh god. Okay. Alright, so welcome to Press Garden. So this act actually has one of the hardest partner clips in the game. Literally, because it wants to be finicky, and we don't know why sometimes the partner will just randomly fall out. Like, you'll be all set, you'll get them in the ceiling, you'll switch them, and they'll drop right down. And that's actually super frustrating, but it's important to get that partner clip, because then the rest of the stage just becomes using Tails' vertical flight to be able to climb up the stage to the top route and just like not care about the rest of the claustrophobic stage. Nice! That partner clip happening first try is fantastic, because that partner clip sucks.
A lot of why that one's hard is that, like, they're usually partner clipping on the top right, but she's got to go up the top left on that one instead, which doesn't seem to work as well that way.
Yeah, it seems to be less consistent going on the top left, which who knows why, but sure. But yeah, like, most of the stage here is, I actually really like the stage aesthetically, in a sense, because it contrasts greatly from its second act, but if you look in the background, you'll actually see that it's a printing press, which is why it's called Press Garden. You'll see, like, newspapers being printed and everything.
She's quickly gonna try to spin dash through here to get to the left side. She can start taking off the boss right away.
I do not know how I didn't get Crush Death, but I will gladly take that.
Yeah, like, we've definitely gotten away with no Crush Deaths so far. And we're actually gonna, like, do a slightly faster transition to Act 2. So Claris is gonna, the reason why she's gliding with Ray right now, which by the way, his sign animation is great too, is normally the cutscene that plays, and she's gonna swap to Sonic here for about half the level or the first portion because it's what she's used to. Several different routes through the stage, it's a matter of preference at this point, and they are all fairly similar times. But that cutscene at the beginning of this act normally just has your active character like slowly meander to the right and transition. But instead, retaining control of Ray allows us to spin dash through that transition and get it much faster. And there's swap back to Ray. So we're actually going to be skipping this boss. Some people like the Heavy Shinobi, I don't. So the way this happens, the way this works is that there's a trigger that's going to lock the upper screen boundary and will force you into the boss fight. We don't want to touch that. This can only be triggered by whoever is active. So what happened there was she did a very, very quick switch to Ray because he bypassed the trigger. And because Ray was already past the trigger, the boss fight doesn't happen, and you're able, with the upper screen boundary unlocked, able to fly over and hit the capsule. You can then trigger the boss fight and nothing happens, because the transition to Stardust Speedway happens. Which, by the way, this is a stage. It's fast. That's our notes. Normally, if this were a marathon run that had donations, like, this would be a great time for donations, but instead I'll just look at chat and enjoy the fact that this is, by the way, the chillest track in the entire game. I love this song. The soundtrack for this game is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
To quote someone in the chat, this song absolutely slaps, yes. It is fantastic. I think this is probably one of my favorite songs in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Here is just to make sure that she doesn't go off path, because that can be disastrous.
Oh yeah, and Ray takes full advantage of his ability to glide around some of these obstacles.
Why were you flying, Tails?
Because he has to.
Like, normally Tails could not fly in Encore mode, like, as the second player. But like, something with slopes or something, he just manages to fly anyway, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, also this is a boss as well. Now Stardust Speedway 2, if you thought that was fast, this is really fast. There's a fairly difficult glide halfway through that saves about 4 seconds if it's done right. And it is really nice to watch. Also, rockets are great.
Didn't do it right, but oh well. It's only a minor loss.
Yeah, it's a very minor loss, considering how fast this stage is. Even casually, I think this is one of the faster stages in the game. And it's gonna lead us right to our good friend, Metal Sonic, who is busy bullying a small, cute animal because he's a jerk. And, in fact, he's such a jerk that this fight might be able to soft lock the game if we don't, do it quite right.
Yeah.
But for those of you, who are, familiar with this game, or maybe played it before the Plus, expansion came out, the final phase of this boss fight is a little different. And so is the second phase, but we're not gonna show you the second phase differences at all, because we're hopefully not gonna show you the second phase. But Ray sure is Ray here in this half, and we're gonna come up to this section coming up right here. We're gonna do a partner clip, and that was a very fast partner clip, my goodness. We're gonna do another partner clip, which you have to be very, very careful with these, because you have to be aware of where Metal Sonic is. Yeah, if you go into this final phase here, with Metal Sonic in the wrong position, you will suffer. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say we fell in the pit and died.
Oh no!
So if you fall in that pit and die, because there is a pit on the immediate left, you have to start this fight over. But we now get to see Ray abuse some more. Now maybe we'll even soft lock. Who knows? If we'll be able to showcase that.
Yeah, let's show all the ways it could go wrong. That'd be great.
I mean, it's just like how we got all the Pizza Huts earlier. It was fantastic. Like, I was hungry. Weren't you hungry?
Anything for the cost of entertainment.
Metal Sonic, please. But it's also like in Sonic 2, where you can, off of Silver Sonic, you can cause a soft lock if you kill him on the right frame. It's great. Alright, so...
Again.
There we go. So Metal Sonic, I believe, needs to be on the left side of the wall there, right? To avoid the soft lock?
Yeah.
Okay.
The way it soft locks is that Mel actually goes down to the second phase below him.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, Metal Sonic done.
Also, this game would be a lot shorter if they had just taken the time to not pose after beating Metal Sonic and just grab the Phantom Ruby and destroy it. I just need to point that out. Also, welcome to, and I'm gonna make a lot of people upset here, Hydrocity Zone. Where, in Act 1, we're gonna do another death cancel, and instead of dying by not having any rings, we're actually gonna cause this death cancel to happen by drowning. And there's a certain enemy that grabs onto you, and what we want to do is we want to interrupt our drowning death with escaping that enemy. And that'll cancel out the animation and everything, and at this point we're not going to be wasting any time because we do have to wait for the countdown timer to happen, just so long as we get to where we need to go before we drown. And that's going to be right about here. So I hope you guys all like being a little anxious about the countdown timer, because I know I sure am. But if we fail this, then we're good.
Got it.
Okay. So what happens now is that Tails doesn't care about spikes, or walls, or
anything,
or rings. Literally anything. Yep. Just like what Bailey said. So you can actually fly up right through this right here, which is actually pretty great. So you actually, there's nothing that's gonna stop Claris from using Tails to fly over the level, and that's what's happening right here.
She is still gonna get locked right here because this is where the boss trigger is. The little cutscene for the boss will play, which we won't see, and then she'll just be able to skip right to the end of the level.
Yeah, there would be a cutscene right about now, and you're watching it. It's just, it's a brick wall. It's the best cutscene.
Yeah, thanks to the glitch, you don't lose control here.
Yeah, thankfully, we get to just enjoy this. But, yeah, we're actually gonna get, hopefully, if this goes well, we're gonna get a super cool ray glide. It is a really swaggy looking ray glide. I'm gonna just appreciate how smooth this is about to be.
Whew.
Nice. All right. So that is a
super
really
fly.
yeah, that is a oh my call that super fly. I like that. I like that a lot. Also, 10 out of 10 music is here, in Claris's opinion. But it is actually very, very good music. Shout out to T-Lopes who made this soundtrack. It is fantastic. But most of the rest of the stage here, up until the boss, is just being Ray, and also staying on the top route and trying to just kind of ignore a bunch of layers of the level. meanwhile, as we enter this boss, which I actually really like this boss, the partner actually lets go a little sooner than you do, which spaces out when these bombs that you're gonna hit activate. So you get 2 hits off of that, and then because the partner will be off screen, you can recall them, and when they recall, they'll be in ball form and you can switch to them, and, or rather, you don't switch to them, when they recall, they'll be in ball form and you can position them just right so that they get a 3rd hit on the boss. It cuts out an extra phase if you're, able to pull it off just fine. Also, Tails is probably gonna drown. And I will- oh, nope, never mind, we're fine. So you actually want to get these hits off as quickly as you can, because, if the boss is allowed to play out, there is a very annoying section of this phase, where, he turns, yeah, there we go, we got it. He would turn that pool of water, essentially, into a, blender, and Ray just doesn't care what flat ground is.
Yeah, for some reason, this is the, like, only unskippable cutscene in the game.
Yeah, I've actually seen a very strange instance of, like, Knuckles just constantly, like, trying to ascend to the heavens. When I did a blind race to this when it came out, it was really, really, we thought it was a soft lock, actually, and it didn't. It eventually got through, but if you're in a bad position, like, it's not...
I think what it does is it copies your input at the end of the cutscene.
That might be it, yeah. Yeah, Mirage Saloon 1, unlike other stages in this game, or in this mode, this stage in particular is brand new and exclusive to Encore. So there are actually 3 total versions of, oh, by the way, this skips, like, almost the entire stage, doing that partner clip there. That was a very nice partner clip, and Ray just glides over everything because he's Ray. But yeah, like, generally speaking, with this stage, by the way, hi Sonic Chaos, shout out, for anyone who's ever played that Game Gear game, the Mirage Saloon has 3 different forms. It has the Mania mode form that is not Knuckles exclusive. It has the Mania mode form that is Knuckles exclusive, and then it has the Encore form. So it's the only stage that has 3 different layouts for Act 1, which is really, really interesting. And we did a very small, like, transition, like, speed up there in a sense. We're also going to be doing another boss fight in this stage. This act is fairly short, as well. And we're going to take advantage of the fact that in Sonic games where you have a partner, your partner copies your inputs, generally. And we're going to use that to our advantage. There's these barrels that you, if you stand on them, you'll roll right through them. Or rather, they'll roll and you'll fall right past them. And we're going to drop our partner down into the boss arena, which doesn't trigger the boss because they're not the active character. And we're going to make it so that they go and trigger the capsule with a spin dash jump. So we're going to drop Tails down. And we're not going to get the capsule. We're going to try again. So the capsule is, I think, roughly underneath the, there we go, we got it.
Yeah, it took a few tries, but oh well.
Yeah, it's finicky because you're blindly trying to hit that.
Yeah, you're blindly trying to hit it with a character you only partially have control of.
Yeah, because you're
No biggie. No biggie.
Oh yeah, it's like no biggie. Meanwhile, Ray sure does fly over everything. That is the name of his game. This game is officially Super Mario World, all cape. I thought we were in the Sonic block. But, that said, Act 1, aside from having this very nice, visual aesthetic, I actually really like the color scheme for Encore mode in this. Act 2 less so, because it's kind of obscured by a bunch of fog. But man, this boss, this boss, this poor guy, he's just trying to do his job, and you're just like murdering him in like cold oil before anything can happen, and the whole place sets on fire. Like, y'all are supposed to be the good guys. You're like unenvironmentally safe right now. Like, what is this?
Well, to be fair, they try to like send you upward into to spike ceiling that you can't see, and it just crushes you to death. So they kind of had it coming.
He didn't get the chance to do it yet.
Yeah, like he didn't get the chance or anything. Like he was just trying to do his job. Like, look, there's smog everywhere, and just why?
Like maybe he was trying to stop the smog.
Like he just wanted to stop pollution. Meanwhile, you actually are able to skip the switch to stop the fog at the start, which means this fog will never start damaging you. Normally, it drains your rings one by one, taking a page out of Studiopolis 2. Meanwhile, there's a clip over a ceiling, which avoids a path swapper, which makes collision through the stage a little strange. And by a little, I mean very strange. So you're able to mostly glide through everything to the end of the stage. And we're able to skip the boss as well, so if you like the bosses, oh god. Like, meanwhile, your only choice here, because of the way the game handles this, your only choice is to die after the end of the results, which then proceeds to do some really weird stuff with the transition to Lava Reef 1. You'll notice something's very, very amiss here. There's no music, timer hasn't started, the game doesn't think this stage is actually started at all. So the only way to fix this is by forcing your character to die. So normally, up until, I want to say very late March, if not early April, this would be Ray's final appearance in the run. But we actually have a use for him a little later, but we're gonna kill Ray. Bye, Ray.
Yeah, so now I'm able to freely swap partners again, as you saw me just switch to Sonic.
Yep, music still won't start to my knowledge, but the timer's going, Sonic can work, and we actually kind of don't mind having Sonic here, because aside from needing him to be able to, like, do partner clips and stuff, he is the only character who's able to use the elemental shields, so he can actually use the fire shield, which makes the second boss, which is the heavy rider, and whom is a very, very wonderful girl robot who rides on a motobug.
Very, very wonderful girl.
Yes. Also, by the way, the heavy magician that we skipped in Mirage Saloon Act 2 is also a girl, which was an interesting piece of lore because it's otherwise not really mentioned in anything regarding the game. But this flame charge that Sonic gets, this flame air dash or whatever, is very, very useful for getting the first, like, 5 or 6 hits on Heavy Rider very quickly. And we do that partner clip there where that special ring is, and we go over the rest of the stage into the boss room. Now, you actually have to do the boss here, because if you take the elevator, the kill plane is still active. And that elevator does not function correctly outside of the cutscene that it's intended for. So you actually do have to fight this boss, who is encased in armor. You need to get rid of the armor by having it overheat. Once it does that and exposes its midsection, you're able to just kill it very quickly by jumping into it like that.
See, a couple people asking how we know, like, what the genders are, and there was, like, a little instruction manual sample thing that came out when the game first came out, and that had info on the hardcore with heavies in them.
Yes, that is correct. So there's actually a very tricky partner clip that Claris is about to try. It's right here, and it's really finicky because if she's on the wrong cycle because of those spinning spikes, it can be a little difficult. Otherwise, once you get through that, it really is just playing the stage optimally to be able to get to the boss.
No! And you hope for that to not happen.
Yep, you also hope for that to not happen, because falling down there is really unfortunate. You can fly back up with Tails.
It just comes down to a missed cycle, just getting a little off timing there, and that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that flame is also on cycles. I believe they're global, much like everything else in the stage, to my knowledge, or is it camera-based?
The flames are global.
Okay. And for those of you who don't know what a global cycle means, it means from usually stage start. Sometimes it can be, like in the case of 3D Blast earlier, that game has some global cycles. So it's like from when you enter the stage, the cycles are going whether or not the hazard or enemy or whatever is on screen or not. So it depends on how fast you get over there. But this is Heavy Rider.
And she's just become a riding through.
Girls.
And
Girls.
and Sonic's just gonna go a firing through.
Oh my god, Bailey. She's also gonna get the last couple of hits with Tails here. Or the last hit with Tails, because otherwise if we finished off with Sonic, we'd have to wait a really long time for that capsule to come down. And that's slow, and we don't want to do that. Also... So this just in, Tails can ascend without his tails. Metallic Madness 1. As I try to compose. I've never seen that before.
Oh, that was so worth it.
I didn't know that could happen.
So you're trying to stay at the top of the stage in this level. You can fall down pretty easily, and that's bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of gaps in the floor, which is really, really slow and very bad. At the end of this stage, actually, you're gonna see Knuckles the Echidna right here. We're gonna pick up Knuckles. Or no, we're gonna pick up Ray, I'm sorry, and then switch to Knuckles. Earlier we did pick up Knuckles, I forgot where. I think it was like Mirage 2?
What? No!
Oh.
I'm gonna die, I think.
Oh.
So what we were trying to do there was, we were trying to, go over the stage. Oh boy. Okay.
It's not a big deal. But...
Okay, it's fine. We were going to try to kill off Knuckles so that we could immediately have Ray, but thankfully there's a swap monitor right here. We're actually going to go with one of the most finicky partner clips here, which involves death cancel. So we need to be able to death cancel in such a way that we are by the way, you're gonna hear a lot of boinging in just a minute. Not only is this partner clip really finicky to get in the first place, but the death that you have to get, death cancel, is a 4-frame window, and I will be very quiet when we're actually setting up for it. Enjoy the spring.
Last frame. Frame number 4.
Yep, we got it. So you actually saw, like, what happened was Ray entered his death animation, but the spring bounced him out of it. So now we're back in this death cancel situation, and much like Studiopolis 1, we're gonna just wrap through the stage. Because we don't want to fight the boss. Why would we ever want to fight the boss? And then we're gonna move into what is my personal favorite stage, Casualty Titanic Monarch. I absolutely adore Titanic Monarch, but we're not quite done with Metallic Madness 2. We're looking for that capsule. Okay, we got there.
So for Titanic Monarch, Claris messaged me about 2 hours before we started that she implemented a new trick here. So,
Oh yeah, I didn't see those because I was running. You should talk about this.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a lot like Press Garden 2. She's going to set up keep the kill plane in a different spot so that she can trigger a death off the kill plane right into the string. But it looks like she missed it there. She's gonna have to try for it again. But again, that'll take the camera lock off just like the previous, and she'll be able to skip right to the boss.
What am I watching? Like, I have not seen this for the record, so I have no, like, I now know what's going on, but I have never seen this done, so this is very, very, interesting to see. But when you do see Ray actually die, and what is happening here?
I wish I could tell you, to be perfectly honest.
Sonic, what are you doing? Sonic, stop! I can't believe Sonic is dead. Over and over and over and over. This is absolutely incredible.
You don't have to hurt yourself like this, Sonic.
So, oh yeah, alright. So we do have the death cancel thing. Okay. Yep, Sonic's just... he's doing a thing. He's certainly doing the thing. We certainly have a background change. I have no idea what is happening.
We're getting to the boss somehow.
Oh, yep. Now we're in the boss. Everyone's favorite boss, Red Eye, Crimson Eye. Like, this is the Dr. Seuss novel right here, right? All right. 1 eye, 2 eye, red eye, green eye. But yeah, that was a skip that I've never seen. And I'm absolutely flabbergasted. My guess is in fact flabbered. I'm just like, wow. Anyways, the second phase here, with the gravity changes is fairly random. You have a 50-50 chance of him going up. Him going up is difficult to deal with.
He seems to just be going up.
Yeah, it's only
Tails can fly at him, but Tails has no collision right now because of the glitch.
Yep, that's lovely.
Okay.
Anytime you want to come down. This is the best.
50.
This is the best 50-50 I've ever seen. Thanks, statistics.
Alright, so we're moving to Titanic Monarch here. Your goal in this level is to get through all 4 segments and then it'll open up the final boss for you. But we're going to be skipping a couple of those segments. It's she's going to be able to partner clip her way through and just make it real easy.
Yeah, so this actually, you immediately partner clip and skip to the very end of this section. And then we're going to go through another section mostly normally, aside from one minor partner clip. And at the end, we're going to partner clip from the end of one section to the end of another, which for some reason the game flags as both being completed. So you actually skip an entire room, which is fantastic. Because this stage is, because Titanic Monarch in general is a very, very vertical zone, partner clips are certainly aplenty here. We have also, that should be, yep, there we go. So this one I think skips, yep, that skips an entire room there, and then we're going to do one, I think this is the last partner clip? Yep, that was the last partner clip there. So now we're just gonna go right into the final boss, and the final boss is a little bit different. He got a couple of changes from Mania 1.0, so before Plus came out. First and foremost, what Claris wants to do here is she wants to make sure that she destroys each of one of each of those 4 armed tentacle things that are hanging onto him per phase, because he's gonna become vulnerable right here where he's generating electricity, and she wants to destroy one of these. Making sure you destroy one of each ensures that you only deal with one hard-boiled heavy phase, and that'll be mandatory right about here. In Mania 1.0, you could skip that. You could skip all hard-boiled heavy phases simply by doing that. The other change that happened is that what used to happen is that the first ones to break off would be the bottom ones, which would make the boss incredibly trivial from there, even casually. Instead, they reversed the order, so now it's actually a little more hazardous if you don't have a lightning shield, or if you're oh, we hit time? Oh, yep, that would be time. Yeah, girl game. GG's. That was a sick run, and that Titanic Monarch one clip was absolutely absurd. But yeah, we're on to Estimate. That was Sonic Mania Plus Encore mode, also known as the Ray and Tails show, with Sonic stealing the spotlight from Ray one last time. But yeah, that actually concludes our Sonic block. So definitely shoutouts to Claris, shoutouts to Bailey for joining for commentary.
Thanks so much to you two for joining.
Yeah, it was absolutely my pleasure. I was more than happy to do this. And also thanks everyone for watching, and stick around. What's next on the schedule?
Next is Oni Hard Mode by Xandra.
Alright, definitely stick around for that and the rest of the final day of Frame Fatales. My name has been Amber Cyprin, and we've, the Bailey Renee, Claris, and shoutouts to the other folks who joined us during the Sonic block, so Co-Empathy and Kurayami. Fantastic folks, and yeah, that's gonna be it for us. We're gonna toss it on over to a break and get Xandra set up.
Yep. Look forward to the rest of the runs today, everyone.